In this video, I'll cover removing attic wall framing for situations where an end truss may be used in place of wall framing. In the sample plan I have open, automatic wall framing has generated the framing for the end attic gable walls. To remove the attic wall framing, in the plan view, I'm going to move up to the attic floor. You see the two attic end walls. To delete the framing, I'm going to come over, I'm going to select the framing tools, then specifically on the far left hand corner, I'm going to use the general framing tool. Come down, I'm going to hold my shift key down, click and drag a marquee around the framing, press delete, and at this point the program is going to prompt me if I make a modification that it will turn off the automatic wall framing. I'm going to go ahead and say yes. For the attic wall on the other side, another approach you can take, click on the wall. In the lower edit menu, you can open up the wall detail. In this wall detail, you can press Control A or Command A on a Mac, select all of the components, press the delete key, and it will remove the framing on the other side. Go ahead and close the wall detail. You see in the plan view all of the framing is gone. I'll move back down onto floor 1. Then to create a truss on the left side of the structure, I'll select the truss, use the multiple copy tool, slide a copy onto the end of the wall. I'll double click to open up the truss, and then I'll go ahead and mark that it's an end truss. You see the preview update, and I've now replaced the end wall framing with the attic truss framing. Suppose you want to turn the automatic wall framing back on. However, you don't want the attic wall framing to rebuild on the gable wall ends where the truss will replace that framing. Let's go back into our automatic framing tools and take a look at turning the automatic framing back on for the walls. Let's go ahead and take our 3D view and rotate around. You can see that the attic wall framing may have rebuilt over the wall that doesn't currently have an end truss. One of the ways you can lock the framing for your walls, go back up to the attic floor. And I'm going to do the same approach as I did earlier. I'm just going to draw a marquee holding the shift key down and delete all of the framing, turn off the automatic wall framing. Once that's been removed, in certain situations you can now open up the wall by double clicking on it. On the structure panel within the wall specification is an option to retain the wall framing. When you modify attic walls, the program will then notify you that the operation will be modifying the generated attic wall and the framing would be retained if you'd like to continue. I'll go ahead and say yes, and then we'll go ahead and turn the automatic wall framing back on. Notice that the attic wall does not regenerate over the top. When you make changes, the automatic wall framing will update the remainder of the model. Now the last thing I need to do is just take and copy the end truss from one side, and I'll just copy that end truss from one end to the other end. I'll do that from the floor plan view from floor 1. We'll grab the truss, use the copy tool, reflect about the center of the structure, and we'll rotate back around, and you can see that we now have the end truss complete, replacing the wall framing from the end of the gable. That wraps up this video on replacing and removing attic wall framing for truss conditions. To learn more, please see our other videos as well as our built-in help file. Thanks for watching.